Hi, welcome.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you. Can you tell me a little bit about who you are and what you are doing here today?
Yeah, so I'm Fred Vallaeys. I'm co-founder and CEO at Optimizer, former Googler, a really long time ago.
Old colleagues?
No, didn't work with Rodney, who's here today from Google.
Yeah, people can see him, but he's behind the camera.
Yeah, he's off stage. No, but I was at Google when it was about 500 people. So played hockey with Sergey, and Larry came over to my house for a couple of parties.
That's nice.
So I got some good contacts at Google from back in the day.
Indeed. And what is your story today?
So I've been talking about automation in PPC for a long time. And when I was here before the pandemic, I gave a talk about why automation is happening, what it all means. And the question that came up here from this audience, and that's come up from a lot of audiences, is, listen, if me as a PPC expert, I do this for a living, and now Google's making it so easy for anyone to get good results. Like, what do I do? How do I make myself better? How do I rank higher?
Do I still have a job in a few years?
Exactly. Do I still have a job? And so my message is really how to maintain that job and sharing some techniques and tactics to unlevel the playing field back in your favor. And so there's things like everything's becoming more feed-based. So how do you optimize ads when those are responsive search ads, which fit in headlines instead of like an ad that you've actually written? How do you change your targets based on your actual business goals? And when it comes to the reason you're doing PPC in the first place, which is to drive conversions, are you really communicating to the machine what it is that you want, what a conversion means to you? Because if you're not, then the machine is flying blind, right? And you have to teach it what it is you truly want for it to do a good job for you. And so those are kind of 3 techniques that I'm talking about here today.
So a lot about giving the right data to Google so they can create the best campaign for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when I was at Google, there was this presentation that I always used to give, which was the 10 principles of innovation for Google. And number 5 on that list was share all information. And it was really at the time about sharing information with humans, because the whole premise was, listen, Google's hiring thousands upon thousands of people, and how do you keep everyone working towards the same goal without having to micromanage everyone? And so Google, like every company, tries to hire really smart people. And if you share the goal with those smart people and you give them access to all the data to make good decisions, then they may have slightly different ways to achieve that solution, but they'll come to kind of the same place, right? And so I think the same principle, people need to think about how that machine learning system is really just like a human colleague that you hired. And just like a human colleague, if you don't tell them what you really want, well, then they're not going to deliver. So
Exactly.
How do you teach the machine?
And what is the biggest takeaway people should remember?
Well, I mean, for the one biggest takeaway, automation is going to continue to happen, right? So don't fight it, but work with it, and use these unleveling techniques. So better communication of value, more smartly setting your targets. One big takeaway that I left here today was people say, oh, it's automated bidding, it's smart bidding, so does that mean I can set it and forget it? Well, not really, right? It's one level closer to your business goals, but your business changes, the competitive landscape changes, and so those inputs into the system still need maintaining. It's just that you have to do a little bit less of figuring out what is my conversion rate going to be, right? Google has pretty good handle on that, but like, how does that connect to your promotional schedule? How does that connect to your staffing levels, which right now, I mean, just getting to Amsterdam was like kind of an adventure, right? Are we going to have people to load the bags on the plane? How much delay is going to be in that city and that city? So
leaving Amsterdam is even harder.
Yeah, so I'll stay here. I'll stay here if anyone wants to meet up.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot. Looking forward to your talk.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes.